That's right. They see you keep dancing. No, no, go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you straight live on City Town Talk is none other than me, Brother Farms, and I think every show host should have a theme song. So I am trying something new this year as we bring in 2021 with our special guest bringing in the new year is none other than Miss Joyce Chester, President and CEO of O.I.C. Say that 5 times fast. CEO of O.I.C. So now let me stop. Let me stop. Now we're going to see. Let me turn this down now. Let me stop showing off. I just want to hear how that sounds when we do the replay because I want to kind of like bring it up and spice it up a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Now I'll tell you, I've been trying to get this young lady on the show forever, and she finally found time because she be doing stuff, and that's all right. So look, before I bring her on, there's a few things you know that we got to do. First of all, you got to get on your iPhone, iPad, Android, or whatever, and I want you to click onto this video and hit the share button so not only will your friends see it, but we will also have the opportunity to read in the comments if you got any questions or anything like that. So you know, Brother Fonz got to take a second to do that. Okay, I'm already on. Boy, we got 8 viewers already. Danico, Dr. Teresa Lee Powell, she is on and watching, and she's saying good evening. You know, Dr. Powell's going to show up because y'all,
Yes, yes,
everything
yes.
y'all do. Hey, Sister Marshall, hello. She said, Fonz New Sound City Town Talk. You are certainly right. I want y'all to stay tuned because we got a great show. It's informative and it's going to touch our community. Now, look, don't forget to hit the share button and look. If y'all got any questions, we will slow this sister down and we will ask these questions in real time, and she will more than gladly answer your question. Oh, Barbara Lowe, my little radical from the library. How are you, Barbara? Oh, you guys are too much, too much. Now, look, I got some announcements. I always like to make these announcements before I get started. And number one, don't forget CYWA's food distribution on Wednesday, 12:30 to 1:30. And they also come back. Uh, Sister Iris Holmes just checked it. Hey, Iris, I know you keep some good questions. So I want you to, when you hear what we're talking about, you come on in with some questions. Okay, next. CYWA also has a food distribution on Thursdays from 1:30 to 2:30.
Mhm.
There's no need for anybody going hungry with all these places giving out some food. So
They
stop
have
playing.
lots of food too.
Lots of food. Don't be cute. And we're gonna get O.I.C. to give away something soon. No,
Mhm.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. But look, Tabernacle Baptist Church, you got Pastor Kyle Boyer down there, and Tabernacle, they have their food distribution on Fridays from 11 to 1. And before I go any further, you know I got to say hello to Sister Carol Horsey, Iris Holmes, and Chris Dickinson. You must be here because Joyce is on, because I don't ever recall seeing you on the show, but that's okay. Welcome. Hey, Chris, if you got any questions, feel free to ask him. Feel free to give a shout out. Let Miss Joyce know that you're on the line and that you're checking her out. Meanwhile, I'm gonna try and get this other apparatus of mine working because I like to have two things working at the same time, and it may not happen, but one is gonna be good enough. Now, first of all, Joyce, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
So far, so good. You're such a busy young lady.
Well, that's true. I'm trying, as my parents would say, to keep me out of trouble.
There you go. There you go. All right,
Mhm.
now look, ladies and gentlemen, I have some great guests. I haven't had no duds yet. No, maybe I think I had one dud. I ain't gonna say that who that person was. But check this out. Before I like to talk about what a person does and their areas of expertise, I want to know who they are. Don't y'all want to know who she is? I know I do. Kathy Smith said. Kathy Smith said, "You looking good, Joyce."
Hey,
Hmm. I think it's the hair. What you think, Kathy? Okay.
hey.
Now let me ask you a question. Where are you originally from, Joyce?
Well, originally I'm from Philly,
Okay.
but I didn't kind of grow up in Philly. I kind of grew up in Prospect Park, which nobody ever heard of. It's in Delaware County
Right.
with my grandparents, and then went home to my parents on the weekend, and then I lived in every county in this region: Montgomery County, Chester County, Bucks County. But I've been in Chester County the longest.
Well, now is Prospect Park near going towards the airport?
Yes, yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
and my grandparents lived there, And honestly, oh my gosh, what a strange place back in the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Hmm.
An interesting little town.
Yeah.
Interesting little town. Went to Interboro School District. My
Uh-huh.
mother went to that same school district. And when my mother went there were no people of color at all. Well, her sister and her two brothers.
Now, you know, I don't usually do this, but your buddy Cynthia Erickson is having some sort of problem getting on evidently. So I'm gonna try and hit her up right quick, but I don't
Okay.
want to lose no connections on this side. Hey, Darnell Alexander, it is good to see you. Donna Rowland. I had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Bond, so that was a good conversation. Vanessa Barron, one of our favorite rock devoters, she has just checked in. I don't know
Well,
what to
I
do.
appreciate all the people that have checked in.
Are
That's
you
so
kidding?
sweet.
Look, once they heard that you was going to be on, because it ain't even about me.
They heard you were going to be on.
Look, well, okay. I want you to answer a couple of questions while I try and
Sure.
find a way to get Cynthia on here.
Okay.
Because she works so hard
She
to
does. She
get
does.
people. I don't even know how to do it real quick because there's a lot of pressure. But look, now where did you go to? No, first of all, are you from a big family?
So no. Well, my extended family is really big, but
Hmm.
my nuclear family is my mom, my dad, my sister. I'm the oldest of two. I'm the
Okay.
older of two.
All
So
right.
my sister is 8 years younger than I am.
Really?
But we got on my father's side. My father is from a family of 10. He's from Florida. So as you can imagine, we've been having family reunions. We got a big family on the Chester side. So so cousins, I got more cousins than I can name. And when I see them at the reunion, I can't even remember all their names. There's so many.
Really? Really? Is that big
Oh,
like
I
that, huh?
like that. That has been fun growing up like that.
Okay, so now where did you go to school?
So I went to Interboro at first, and that was out in Prospect Park. And then we moved to, but my family, my mom and dad moved to Bucks County when I was in 10th grade. So I graduated Ben Salem.
Hmm.
Then when I first got out of high school, I went to work. I was working actually. My very first job. Do you want to know what that was?
I certainly do.
Okay, so I kind of snuck. I used to go to Neshaminy Mall, and
Hmm.
I love Mary Ann's department store. You probably don't remember Mary Ann's.
Look, I'm 70 years old. What are you talking about?
Okay. Well, I went in there and asked for a job, and then came home and told my parents I got a job. I was only 15.
Uh-huh.
And so the job kept saying, well, you need working papers. And I said, okay, well, I'll get my parents to sign them. Well, I never brought in the working papers because they didn't think that I should be working at Mary Ann's department store in high school. But
Mhm.
I loved that job. So when I got out of high school, I started working. I was lucky enough to land a good job.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me say hi to some of the visitors, especially the young lady we were just talking about. Hi, Cynthia Dawn Erickson. It's good to see that you're
Hey.
watching. And Donna Rowland said she remember Mary Ann's.
Oh, she does? Oh
Oh,
my
yeah, a
God.
lot of us
Well,
do.
wait, let her know. I used to manage the lingerie department.
Oh my goodness. Anthony Whitaker has checked in. Anthony Whitaker, it is good to see you. I want to see you more often because I don't see you often. Julie Womer Barlip, top of the evening to you. Tonight's guest is none other than Miss Joyce Chester, President and CEO of O.I.C. I just
Oh,
like
I
saying that.
see.
It just rolls right off my tongue. All right, but look, all right, now, when you was in high school, did you envision doing what you're doing now? And
Not at all. No.
what did you want to do when you was in high school?
So when I was in high school, I thought I wanted to be an attorney,
Okay.
and I wanted to be an international attorney because
Oh,
I loved language courses. By the time I graduated high school, I had had 4 years of Spanish and 2 years of French.
mm,
So I thought, and I just love my Spanish teacher. So I said, I had told him, I said, I'm going to law school, and that's what I wanted to do. And so I didn't do any of that.
okay, all right, okay, that's good. But a lot of people who have wound up where they are
Listen,
now had
when
no
I
idea it was going to be like that in school. We just
I
want to
was
set
one
the
of these,
date.
listen, I was one of these kids that when I graduated high school, I was like, I couldn't believe, like, I remember walking out the doors of the school thinking, oh my God, I don't have a plan.
Mm,
So I had no idea what I was going to do. So the first thing I did, I played piano all my life.
mm.
And so I thought, well, I'm going to study piano.
Okay.
Okay, I've gone now from being an attorney to studying piano.
Yeah, why not?
So,
Makes sense.
as I told you, like when I stopped got out of high, I said, in the meantime, while I have no plan, I have to work because
Yeah.
I'm grown now. I wanted to be grown all my life. Now I'm grown.
Okay.
So my parents are looking at me like we got a plan for you if you don't have one.
Mhm.
So I started working and I did pretty good. I just started working at an insurance company, and then I went back to school.
Okay. All right.
So I actually started at Temple in
Mhm.
music. And
Mhm.
then I said, I don't have this discipline. I cannot be practicing like hours and hours a day. So I changed it to English. And I
Oh,
was in their school for radio, TV, film.
oh, oh.
But I was working as a full-time adult as well.
Okay, okay, okay. Hold on for a second. We're going to welcome J.D. Angelo to the set. Daria Turner. Daria Turner, she's one of my biggest reference resources. I mean, she knows a lot of people. And Daria, we have made a
Hey,
connection.
Daria.
Yeah, she's one of your fans. So we made a connection, Daria, and I want to thank you very much publicly for all that you do. Okay, so now you majored in English in college, right?
That's
Oh,
on my pathway.
on your pathway. Okay, let's talk about that path.
So then I was in the School of Radio, TV, Film. Remember that?
Right, I got that.
Okay, so then I moved to Chester County. I started working at National Liberty.
Hmm.
And when I moved to Chester County, I didn't want to go down to Temple University anymore. So I transferred to Villanova.
Mm.
And that's when I changed my major to English officially.
You know,
And
that's
I changed my major to English, but I was taking Spanish classes. That's how I started.
oh Lord, I'm so confused. I'm writing this stuff
I
down, but it's
know.
okay.
Listen.
Huh?
I spent a lot of my life. Hey, but here's the thing. I realized I love being an adult learner. Like I love working and I love being in school. Like
Oh,
I grew to a point that I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to learn. And I did a lot of things along the way. Like I would learn things like I just really interesting side steps that I took along the way. And I don't regret any of it. It took me forever to get through school. So after being in Immaculata for, I think I'm not Immaculata, Villanova
Villanova.
for about a year and a half. I hated Villanova. It was just not my, we kind of didn't mesh, like I wasn't feeling it. So I transferred to Immaculata because it was close to my house and I figured I just need to get done.
Okay.
So I transferred and then I changed my major yet again
To what?
to organizational development.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Now I'm putting it together.
yeah, yeah.
But wait a minute, you stay right there. Stay right there. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Joel Lambert, it is good to see you this evening. Cynthia Dawn Erickson, she's got three smiley faces in there.
Hi.
Anthony Stewart, top of the evening. Tonight, boy, I'm telling you, we got Miss Joyce Chester. So if y'all got
I
some
know.
popcorn and some snacks, we can talk. She said, I can talk for hours. And I'm saying, yeah, but we
I can't, but I usually don't talk about me. I usually talk about, I find out what other people are doing.
oh, this is going to be so exciting. I am so glad to hear about it. Okay, look. So now the last thought I heard coming from you was organizational. Because
Uh-huh,
as I looked at your resume, and when I
uh-huh.
look at what you do, everything you do is about organizing something or
It
helping something
is.
or doing something.
I
But
love, I love taking things out of nothing, making something out of it, like strategizing about it, and
uh-huh.
then making it happen. That's what I really, really love to do. And I think that, you know, I don't know that you know that I worked at Colonial Penn for 8 years. Then I worked at National Liberty for 13 and a half years. Then I owned my own business for 10 years.
You
That
special.
was before I went into nonprofit.
You something else. That's why I
I'm
got
not,
you
that
on the
makes
show.
me old, right?
No, no, that makes you real smart. Look, you had me at Villanova and what's that other school?
Immaculata. I graduated Immaculata.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it told me three things. First of all, Temple, Villanova, and Immaculate. It's either you're real smart or you got a lot of money. And you don't get much without one of them two things. So I'm looking at you like altogether different right now. But
Yeah,
that's
we
besides.
got a lot of money. We better just go with kind of smart.
Okay.
I would hope so.
We got Minister Larry C. Morris on the set. Good to see you, sir.
Hi.
Giovanna Wiley, she is your
Savannah.
man from O.I.C. She talking about, hey, Cynthia wants me to ask you about the Rotary, and we will before it's over with.
Oh, yes.
And of course, Kathy is giving you amens about everything, especially
Oh,
she said she sure
oh.
can organize. She sure can. Okay. And Cindy said she shared it to all the Facebook groups. Good. And let me see, where was I before I was interrupted by viewers? Let me see. Okay.
I can't believe how those people are viewing. I love that's amazing.
We look, we gave out tickets, we handed out money,
That's amazing.
we
Thank
paid
you, thank
people
you,
to come
thank you.
on. What are you talking about? But look, okay, now where's my next question? Okay, before I met you, and I mentioned your name or I heard your name and this and that, everybody had glowing adjectives about you, that you're world renowned on the East Coast, that,
Okay,
well,
really.
okay, maybe not the East Coast, the
Thank
upper
you.
half of the East Coast, but let me say something. Every time I mention Joyce Chester, it opens doors, number one. It makes me look like I know people, and that's a good thing. But they have nothing but glowing things to say about you. So now what do you attribute to your success and the reason why so many people like you, especially Cynthia? She really likes you. Come on, talk to me.
You know what? Okay, first of all, and this goes without saying, I attribute all good things in my life to God. I just do because honestly, like being so, I told you when I graduated high school, I was just no plan, just kind of lost, just kind of going along. But somehow along the way, I feel like doors have been open, and I just, my parents, they wanted me to go to school. They had a plan for me, and I
Mm,
just didn't follow that plan. I just had to, and they gave me space kind of to do what I thought I needed to do. And I feel, between my grandparents and my mom and my dad, and I lost my grandfather early, and I lost my dad early
mhm,
in life. My grandfather died when I was 8, and my father died when I was in 30.
mhm,
And he was young. He was 56 when he got really ill, and then he passed at 66. They were really influential in my life. But my grandmother and my mother were also very influential in what they did and how they lived their life. And it gave me something to look at and say, I got to be like them. They
mm.
were, I didn't know it at the time. When you're growing up, you're fighting with your parents and you just think they're the dumbest people in the world. But as you grow older, you get to realize the gifts that they've given you
Uh-huh.
to help you get to where you are. So I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate the people that are in my village that kind of help me along the way,
Yeah, yeah, I certainly do. Now, how long you been doing this?
the nonprofit part or
Yeah,
the,
the nonprofit part.
well, I went into, now I don't know this, this is a little known fact.
Okay, let's have it. We need
So
we
I
need
was we all go through trials and tribulations in our life, right?
well,
Well, amen. Now, did I get an amen from
I
the,
got an amen from
look at
me.
the audience now? Check it out.
Uh-oh.
So
Go on.
I was married twice,
Ooh.
and my second marriage, I went through a time when I just really had to think about, okay, what is it that I need to get out of life? What is it that I'm here to do with my life? And that's when I went into nonprofit. I never thought I would be in nonprofit because remember, I worked for a company, worked for two major companies. I
Right.
had my own business.
Mm,
And when I went into nonprofit, it was like, okay, like my mother said to me, how are you going to make a living? And I said, well, Oprah said, do what you love and the money will come, right?
she
And God will supply your needs. So I just went into it and I just said, this is what I'm doing. And let me tell you something, Fonz.
come on.
I loved it. I
Oh,
loved it. I it was almost like it was addictive. Like just I had never been in a job where I just cared so much about, I used to write advertising for a living. Nobody cares about, all they care about is, okay, how much money can you make me today?
oh,
Well, you know what?
no.
What does that get you at the end of the day? It gets you, I mean, really, when you really think about your life legacy and what you've done to make this world better, It just, there was not much that I could see that I had done up until that point. But when somebody turned around and said, you know what, you gave me inspiration to do this, or listen, one of the first students I had, I'll never forget this. She was a young lady. I was working at the community center in Westchester. She was 21. She had 4 children. She didn't have any, marketable skills to get a job and hold a job and take care of her family. So I had written this program and she finished the program. She was an excellent student. And so we had graduations for the students. And her grandmother came up to me after the graduation ceremony and she says, do you realize this is the first thing that she has ever completed?
What?
This young girl turned out to be the valedictorian for the class. When she gave her speech, I was crying so hard. And I'll never forget this because my sister came to this graduation. I was crying so hard that I couldn't get back up and talk to the audience. I was bawling. She said, this has just changed my life. And I know it's changed my children's lives too. So I've never looked back. I've only looked forward. And I'm glad to be in this space where I am.
Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, we're going to reach out to some people. Let me see. Well, Kathy Smith said she sure can. Okay, we already talked about Rotary, but Giovanna said Southeastern Pennsylvania won. That must mean something. And she also gave a ha, ha, ha in the comment section. We must have said something funny.
Is that good, Giovanna? Ask her if that's good. Well,
hey, Joyce wants to know, is that good? Type it in the comment section. Dr. Powell said, I really like her too. That's in reference to me saying about everybody likes you. Shannon D. Thomas, who rarely ever speaks on my show. You must have touched her because she has typed in the comment section. She does have a magnetic personality. When I have people that's rarely on my show, come on my show and comment on the show, that means I got the right person on the show.
That's good.
Shannon, don't be so picky. Keep coming back and stop playing. Donna Rowland wants to know about adult training. Hey, Donna, stay tuned because we're going to talk about the programming and training. This was more like an initial getting to know her, getting to know all. Okay, that's enough for singing. Sister Barbara Marshall said amen, and Dr. Powell said amen when you asked, can you get an amen? So y'all stick around. Man, I'm rolling right through this thing and I almost act like I know what I'm doing. Now, let's talk O.I.C. You want to talk O.I.C?
I love O.I.C.
Man,
okay, so wait, I got to tell you this.
What?
I only came to teach a 6-week course at O.I.C.
Ain't that how God do though?
This is year 20.
See?
This is year 20.
He'd be laughing at our plans.
I know, right? Oh, I can't. One of the board members at the time, she called me like on a Thursday and she said, do you think you can teach a GED class for us? I said, no, because that means I got to go back and brush up on the math. No, I can't do that. She said, it's only 6 weeks. I promise. It's only 6 weeks. Okay. That was in 2001. So I'm still there.
I want to say something, because evidently somebody on this thread here knows you maybe a little bit more than other people do.
Oh my God.
Smith said, she's an actress.
Who said that?
Kathy.
Oh my gosh, Kathy. Did she?
No. Kathy, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
These are the inside tidbits we want to know.
I'm a drama mama.
On City Town Talk.
I'm a drama mama.
Yvette Smith Calloway just checked in. Yvette, it is good to see, and it's good to see Sister Barbara Marshall hasn't quit on us on a Tuesday evening. Now, okay, what does O.I.C. stand for?
This is just coffee. Hold on.
I think that's some Grey Goose or something. I don't know. Whatever.
It's a great.
I don't know. Them young folks be drinking, but I'm only kidding.
What does it stand for?
Yes.
Opportunities Industrialization Center. That's a long name.
Yeah, it's okay. But let me share something for a second. I went to O.I.C. when I lived in North Philly.
Did you?
Yeah, 100 years ago. Doing, I don't even know what it's called, but I had to put in numbers on this. It's an old machine. I don't know what it's called, data input, but whatever.
It is.
It was. It was 100 years ago, man. But it's.
But you know what? Did you know Reverend Sullivan?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh.
And I had to have gone there, I want to say maybe 45, 50 years ago. Yeah, it had to be.
Well, it was OIC in Philly started in 1964. So it
So
was over, yeah, it's been there for over 50 years,
yeah, it's been about
almost
50
60.
years. Yeah, because yeah, anyway, that's enough about me. Nobody care nothing about me. Okay, everybody's giving answers to the questions I'm asking you. I want to thank y'all. Now, we know the name of OIC. We want to know like who's eligible to use OIC services.
Everybody,
You heard that? What I tell you about one word answers?
everybody.
No, no, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
You see her face too. She cut me right off. She said, "I said
Thank
it,
you.
everybody."
We find a way to make a way out of no way.
Good stuff.
So
Good stuff.
listen, listen, you know how we know what you bring to us at the door is where we start.
Mm,
So anybody that's looking for a job, needs a better job, trying to get skills so they can get a job, keep a job, look for a job, know where the jobs are, that's who needs to come to OIC. We have, it's all about prepping, getting prepared to work
mm-hmm.
and being the best when you get to work, because we want people to have options. We really want people to not, I feel like this is how I feel. I think you spend a lot of time when you go to work, you spend a lot of time there. It
Mm-hmm.
should be something that you have a passion to do, or it's getting you to where you need to go,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Exactly.
you're spending a lot of time there. So it should be something that you enjoy for whatever reason. You should enjoy it. And you should know what options you have when you go to work. You should know what your rights and privileges are. And you need to learn how to make that job work for you. Make that job work for you, whether it's through income, whether it's through benefits, whether it's through learning a new trade or learning a new skill.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want people to understand. We are all about employment. I always say this, at OIC, all roads lead to employment.
Mm. I'm telling you, hey, look, I got to admit, as a person that's on the outside looking in, I am so impressed with what you do, with who you do it with, and for who you do it for. Your staff is the most approachable, most friendliest,
The
like
staff is
down to
amazing.
earth. They just downright stupid up in there. They make stuff, they make stuff
They
happen.
are amazing.
Look, they're amazing. They make me feel welcome, although I'm like, I don't know what I.
No, Fond, you have been such a great friend of ours since we have been in this community, honestly. Just showing us the ropes and just supporting us. And I don't know if the audience knows, but I got a nice award from MCDC.
And well deserved too.
And I was shocked, I was amazed, but I was really honored. I really appreciate that.
Look, when we started thinking about people, we thought about you, and we
And
we thought about
and
one of
Dr.
my favorite.
Teresa Powell, she's on here. She was
She
awarded
know,
as well,
she
which
know.
she should have been.
I
I
do.
appreciate, yes. She's
Yeah,
on my board, so I appreciate that.
yeah. Okay, now wait a minute. We got some words. Some people are saying stuff. Donna Rowland said she when she lived in Poughkeepsie, New York, Hudson Valley OIC got me my job
Oh,
with
nice.
IBM.
Now, we're national and actually international. We
Small
got
world.
OICs all across the country.
Hey, man, this is a beautiful thing. All right. Okay. Now, Donna said, what skills are being taught? We might as well ask.
So, okay, that's a good question, Donna. So we have the most basic fundamental foundational skills, like literacy skills.
Mhm.
So we have language literacy for those that need language, like English as a second language. We have levels from one, like you just come in learning how to, you know 3 words of English. and
Mhm.
and this is all cultures. It's not just Spanish learning. We have French students, African students, Spanish students, but we're teaching English immersion. So we have English as a second language from the most beginning level to the most advanced. We have general education diploma, which is GED, high
Mhm.
school equivalency. So for those, no matter what age, we've had people as young as 17 to as old as 95
What?
in our GED class.
Come on, you
We
never
have
told.
workforce reentry. We have workforce reintegration. So those that have, maybe we've had some missteps in life, maybe we have a criminal history, maybe we come with, people, when you get to be an adult, you never know, you come with all sorts of things. We all have all kinds of baggage that we have to deal with. But the fact is that no matter where we are,
Mhm.
somebody needs to extend a hand just to help us along the way. It's always, that's how people get ahead. None of us do this by ourselves, right?
You preaching, sister. You are
No, I'm
preaching.
just saying. No, I'm just saying. It's true. We've all we have all gotten to where we are with the help of somebody else. Now we know that's true, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's what we're there to do. When people need to get skills, if they feel like uncomfortable, maybe they feel like, well, I should have known that by now. Well, okay, but you don't.
Right.
And that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. So bring that to us and let us see how we can sort that out to help you so that you can be economic. But when you're an adult, that is our duty to this world, to make sure that we are economically able to take care of ourselves and our families. That one thing.
Hey Joyce, you know I'm enjoying this. I hope you're not tired because we got more
I
to
got
talk about.
coffee. I'm not tired. Look, I still got coffee to go.
Still got that great goose. Okay, Israel, Cam, Judah, we want to say good evening. Of course, I'm only kidding about the gray goose, y'all.
Thank you.
It's rum and coke. No. I'm just playing. I'm just practicing to be a comedian.
It is black coffee.
Yeah. Kathy Smith said, "You are a wonderful boss." And
I love Kathy.
Kathy, that means our $10 went far and well.
Thank you, Kathy.
What a way to go. Okay. Cynthia thinks I'm amazing. We're going to go right past that.
Oh, you are.
Ravana is watching. Ravana, it is so good to see you this evening. I want you to tune in to all of my shows. Most of them make sense. Cindy Outlaw is on the
Oh,
set.
it's Cindy. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I might as well read a few words from Cindy there. Here we go. Hi, my friend Joyce. Thanks for all you do to make a difference.
Oh,
That's not just coming from her, but it's coming from all of us, man. I mean, I'm telling
y'all just making me feel good. Come on.
as well you should. We need to give people their flowers while they can
I appreciate
smell
that.
them.
I do. I do.
Okay, now I got some more questions. I don't know if they're important, but yeah, let me ask them. Okay, what made you want to bring O.I.C. from Westchester to here, and how long was the process?
So actually, we were in Westchester, and
Right.
actually, one of my board members, he came to me one day and he said, would you consider buying a building for for OIC buying a building? And I said, yeah. And so he said, and what if the building's in Coatesville? And I said, yeah. So he said, well, I have a building. He said, I want you to come look at it. So I went, it was the senior center. And when I looked at the space, I said, oh my goodness. And it had an elevator. And
Yes.
it had room after room. And I thought, this is amazing. This is amazing. And I was kind of, when the Career Link moved out of Coatesville to Exton, I knew there were a lot of people in Coatesville may not be able to get to Exton or may not, just have, I don't know, whatever. But I felt like if we could be in Coatesville in that building in the heart of town, I thought that would be sensational. Coatesville at that, it reminded me of like Philly in the old days,
Uh-huh.
and I just love the whole vibe of Coatesville, the people. Like people would come in the door and just stand and they say, what is this place? We didn't have signs up or anything because we were trying to get used to the building. So Fonz, actually the move didn't take that long. We had to then make sure we got all the codes, use and occupancy. So that took a little time, but honestly, in retrospect, it wasn't that difficult.
That is some good stuff. Good stuff. Little quiet as it's kept, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Joyce Chester was out there on the corners of 3rd and Martin Luther King Boulevard last year, I believe in the month of October, talking about rocking the boat. Oh man, we had people at the corner table having a grand old time hanging out there with Bill Pierce.
We had staff out there. We had my staff. I think
crazy.
Mona was out there and Dave Wilkerson and
we had Pastor Kyle Boyer. I seen him stop by.
Pastor Kyle stopped by.
I got a couple pictures of him. He had a suit on all night.
State Rep Danny Williams stopped by and Valeria and
That's the good part because
Bill Pierce was out there. It was
definitely
fun.
Bill Pierce.
We had a ball.
It
Yeah.
was a ball. Okay, now let's move on. What has been some of the biggest challenges since you've been here in Coastal?
You know what my biggest challenge has been since I have been in Coatesville?
Mhm.
COVID-19.
Oh man, don't you hate it?
I hate it. Listen, now you know this. Before COVID, we had that building rocking.
Hey, we was rolling like a donut.
We had that building. We had people there in the day. We had people there in the midday. We had people there in the evening, on the weekends, and I could see how it was building, building, building. I loved it,
Yeah.
and COVID came.
Uh, I remember.
I
I
was
remember.
telling somebody today, it's not that we still have classes like we did, but they're all virtual. We only have one face-to-face class that's at the Career Link in Exton.
Mhm.
The rest of and that's fine, but that connection to the community, I just kind of miss that.
I mean, you had the poetry thing.
We had the poetry thing.
We was telling
We
jokes that
were
weren't
making
funny.
the cafe.
The cafe reading poems and stuff. I felt smart, during that period of time.
You look very smart too.
Oh, good God. Okay, good evening. Mick Melvin, it's top of the evening. Kathy says she misses that. I miss it too, because I had somewhere to hang out and be around some other.
We had events there. We did the Black Women of Chester County in action.
Oh,
We
that was
did the
nice.
walk. We
That was
did
nice.
the walk around Coatesville. Oh, we had, yeah. But you know what? COVID's not going to be here forever.
Nope. And
So
we're gonna have a lot of pent up and stored up energy and ideas because I read somewhere where it said never let a crisis go to waste. So during
yeah,
this crisis, let's think of things that we're gonna do where we're gonna hit the door running when this
yeah.
thing is down and over. First thing I'm doing is go to my church and hug everybody up in it. I'm gonna be smacking people in the back of the head. Bam! How you doing? I'll be hugging senior citizens real hard and
It's
tight.
changed our whole social platform, hasn't it?
And
Everything is
see,
different.
my church let me be just the way I am. They know I'm half crazy, so they think I'm funny, and I like that. That's like, oh man. Anyway, all right. Now look, we need to start talking about. Oh wait a minute, Donna Rose got another question. We don't want to ignore her. Let's see what she has to ask. Are there any businesses that work with you after people have completed their training?
Well, you know what? A lot of the because we have the CNA, the Certified Nurse Aid program,
Yeah.
a lot of the healthcare businesses work with us, the long-term care facilities, the hospitals, and we've placed a lot of students uh, through in the hospitals and long-term care settings. And we have worked with other business too. I wish Giovanna was right here with me because she knows the names of those local businesses. And we do look for businesses that are local because we want people to be able to
Giovanna, type in the names of the businesses right now if you're still on the line and you got
yeah.
to still earn your pay. So come on, stop playing.
Thanks, Giovanna. Yeah.
Okay, now while we're talking about that, first I'm going to say good evening to Tina Madsen. Tina, why are you so late? You must be looking at the election result, but I'm glad you came aboard. But wait a minute, while we're there talking about the businesses, something that I'm close to that you allowed me to serve y'all was the culinary school. Now, when you talk about
The
businesses
food,
that tie into some of your training, let's talk about that.
the food bank and the Safe Serve Safe program through the food bank in is it in Exton? That program is amazing. It is the chef, Ranny. He is French trained.
Yes.
And I mean, those students, it was amazing, amazing. And we were able to put a lot of students through that partnership before the pandemic.
And the
And but we also one of the programs we work with a lot with Montgomery County O.I.C. in Norristown, and
Mhm.
we together jointly do forklift training. We still have been able to get through forklift training, so people can get warehousing jobs, and there are a number of those jobs around this location. So I mean, we're trying to do what we can where we can, even through the pandemic,
Yeah.
And can I mention this? One of the things that's really going to help us is our new van, which I will.
Oh, let's talk about the
Let's
news.
talk about the van. Let's
Come
talk
on,
about
hit it.
the van.
What's going on
I
with
meant
this
to send you a picture so you could put the van up on the
page?
I Senator Dinniman last year was able to get us funding to get a van for OIC. It's a 12-passenger van.
Oh, come on now.
It's a 2020. So I am really excited. He asked me, well, what one thing would be able to help you do more? And I said, a van. We need transportation. So we're going to be working, using that to get people to training, of course, and various things. But also, I promised Senator Dinniman that we would help seniors with pet food and that kind of thing, and make deliveries as they. So we're going to work with the senior center to work that through.
Man, God be working overtime. Like a lot of times you have not because you ask not. You know what I mean?
I know. But listen, you got to be prepared, right? Somebody told me that the other day. One of the things for nonprofit leaders, you got to always be prepared. You got to know what you need and know what you want to make your, to make your situation, your agency, whatever, better. So, yeah.
I like that. Okay, now we got an answer from Giovanna Wiley. She said we have.
Thanks, Giovanna.
Yeah, she right on point. We have Power Up for employment workshops each week where employment specialists highlight what local businesses are hiring. You can follow our Facebook, Chester County O.I.C, to receive notifications. That's for you, Donna Rowland, but it's also for my viewers out here in Chester County. Look, you have a resource right here. I know her name is Joyce Chester, but we're going to change her name to Resource. That's RESOURCE. You need to get in touch with Miss Resource and get the stuff you be needing. Your kids need to be training. They might have messed up in school. Kick them in the ankle and tell them go out and see Miss Resource and start training. Find out what's going on out here. She got a van pretty soon. She's going to be taking y'all to training. We're talking about transportation, education, and employmentation.
And don't let anything stop you, whether it's criminal history, whether it's lack of skill. That's what we're there for.
Exactly.
That is what we are in. That's what we're here for in the community. That's what we're here for.
So y'all got to stop playing. Encourage.
And listen, our next CNA certified nurse aid class. Now I want everybody to hear this.
Okay.
The next class starts February 1st, but you have to sign up now. You need to call OIC, talk to Isabella now so you can get signed up for that class.
Well, what's that number?
610-692-2344. 610-692-2344.
Giovanna, can you type that number in the comment section, please?
And if you need employment, especially if you're a youth, if you are 18 to 24, you need to be on the phone with Giovanna tomorrow.
What?
610-692-2344. And you'll probably get Margaret, but Margaret will patch you through. Margaret is so sweet. Margaret is amazing. She will get you to where you need to be.
I'm telling you, you got a great crew.
Now, because of COVID, I need you to call. Don't just drop by. You have to have an appointment.
Right. Don't be just dropping by like you dropping by your uncle's house or something.
That was
call a sister up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Cynthia Dawn, she's on point. She got the phone number, address, website.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Good. Now, what else we got? Because I'm reading so much good. You know what? I might have to have you on here again. I ain't
Oh my God. Hey, I'm game.
Let me see. Okay. That one's adding up. Okay. Wait a minute. Giovanna's adding even some more stuff. Viewers, listen to the words that's coming out my mouth. Okay. Giovanna said some of those that we partner with include most home health aid agencies in Chester County, Brandywine Hospital, AutoZone, Cricket, Arizon, Camilla Hall, that's Immaculata, Giant Food Stores, McDonald's. I mean, when in doubt, check them out. Man, there's so much stuff going on here. Where's my next question? Okay, we've been talking about programs. Now, have you covered all the programs that you have? Is there anything else?
We have a tutoring program, and that tutoring program is out of Chester County Library. So like, if maybe you don't feel comfortable in a class environment, we can get you matched up with a tutor to help you to get through whatever literacy objectives you might have, literacy goals you might have. The SOAR program, that's Giovanna's program, SOAR and Workforce. they do amazing work. They do amazing, they have amazing connections in the community. Um, and if you need a, I'm repeating myself on that point, but it's so important that I can't stress it enough. If you need a job, a better job, to keep your job, more skills for a job,
Right.
you need to call immediately, 610-692-2344.
Okay, Joyce, I want you to elaborate on the SOAR program just a little bit.
The SOAR program, this is our third year with the SOAR program. That is for, it's a youth program, youth 18 to 24. And if you have a criminal history, if you've had justice involvement, they say justice, and I hate to call these programs, I hate to say that we're putting people in a program, because that's just, it's a service that we're providing. It's a
I like
service that helps you to get to your next place, to move you down your path, to help you on your journey. So that service specifically works with that population. We get a number of people from the courts, not remanded, but they referred to us, so that we can kind of move them along. Because you know what? Somebody said, one of our OIC affiliates said, the best social service program is a job. You
Mm,
know how that changes your life when you have accountability and respond, when you can have accountability for your own self and make your own choices and not have people telling you what to do, and not, but you are taking part in making your choice.
mm,
Not to say that when you go to a job, people don't tell you, but it gives you more options,
sure.
because now you have clean income that you can use to help make your life better. And that's, hey, that's what we want to get you into the economy and make things work for you.
Good, good. Hey, OIC is working overtime on the comment section. They are providing times, dates, numbers. Hey, Jabana, Cynthia, you know how I feel about y'all, because y'all getting the word out. And see, that's what teamwork makes the dream work, because they getting it
Teamwork
out.
makes the dream
And
work.
look, you parents, you girlfriends that got boyfriends that has came on the wrong side of the law. We all make mistakes.
Everybody does. You're
You know,
right.
Brother Fon's story. I don't have to litigate that anymore. But check this out. If you're trying to find a way up and out, this is how it starts. You you
Oh,
you
that's
take a
right.
suggestion, you give it a shot, you give it an honest try, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at just what may happen in your life, man. Take a chance on yourself, take a chance on the people that's here to serve you, and see where it takes you. All right, I'm gonna keep moving on, because
Take a chance. That's right.
I can get on my soapbox.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Now, Yvette said, thanks for the information. Yvette, it was her pleasure. It was Resources' pleasure. I'm going to change her name.
Oh,
But
thank you. But listen,
right,
and if it's not something, if you find this is not something that you need, I'm sure you know somebody that does need that support. Give them the number, 610-692-2344. It's easier, ccoic.org. That's all you have to remember. Go on that website.
stop being selfish and
Go
share
on
with other
that
people.
website.
Amber Little Turner, it is so good.
Oh, Amber, hi.
Are you kidding? I don't know whether to answer for an autograph or what I should do. Barbara Washington is on the set. You kind of late, and you my neighbor too, Barbara, but that's all right. You can catch us on the replay. Now, let me see what else. We already answered this question about who's eligible for the CNA. Was there any special requirements to get in the
So
CNA?
the CNA program, because that program is funded by, and again, I hate using the word program, but that particular course is funded by, I'm sorry, is approved by Department of Education and Department of Aging. So
Mhm.
we have rigid requirements.
Okay.
However,
Mhm.
you need to come in to see if you, sometimes people don't come in because they think, well, because we do a criminal history check.
Mhm.
And there are permissible offenses. So I have to be clear about that. Just because you've had a misdemeanor or two in your past does not mean you're not eligible for this program. You need to be able to lift 40 pounds.
Right.
You need to, right now, we're setting the students, we're setting up a new COVID policy, because depending on the long-term care facilities, we might need the students to get their vaccines before they go into long-term care facilities because of the safety of the residents there, you know, them being older and vulnerable.
Right, right.
So that program, listen, for the past 3 years, we've had on the state certification, we've had 100% pass rate.
Mm.
That is almost, that is amazing. That, and that's due to the staff, the two nurses that teach that program.
What?
They make sure those students are ready. And when they leave the program, many of the students, we're now working on an agreement with the Chester County Intermediate Unit because we want those students to go right into LPN.
Ah.
So we're looking for ways to make sure we can get that funded. We have already, we're working on getting their entry fees waived so that they can just make that transition. So we're working on ways to get them directly there. Right now, about 20% of our students go on to LPN, and we have students that have graduated CNA that are now LPNs or RNs or BSNs.
Mm.
So yes,
That's some new initials. I don't even know what that is.
but well, they're good initials.
Okay, there you go. All
They
right.
are they are good initials.
My cousin just checked in, Alberta Newsline, Joy Barucci Jacobs. I love saying all them three names there, Joy. It just rolls off my tongue. Joy Barucci Jacobs. It's good to see you this evening. Now, what's new for the year 2021? Come on, Joyce, talk to me.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the van is new. It's 2021. We're starting off with the van. We are working on renovations to the building.
What?
They continue. So we just put the bid package out for the vendors to respond. The renovations, I just had a meeting today before this meeting, will officially start on March 1st. That's our date. So we're having some really nice changes made to the building. And that'll facilitate our classroom training. You know, we hopefully this will kind of dovetail to when we can get back in action with the building being open again later in the year. We're also working with various partners throughout the community to expand our programming and to increase our training. So we want to make sure that whatever we're really doing a deep dive into what businesses are available in Coatesville or around Coatesville. And then we want to get the people in so we can train them for those jobs. And sometimes just to upskill somebody, it only takes a little to upskill somebody to get them prepared. But that makes them different than the person next to them that had no skills training. Do you see what I mean?
I certainly do. And
so we want to give them every benefit in being successful when they're in the workforce.
And MCDC has their eyes on you because we want to collaborate.
We are going to partner with you because I talked to you earlier about my big idea.
Yeah.
I have lots of big ideas, but you know the idea.
Yes, I do. Yes,
so you know what?
I know it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
Okay, now let me see. I got somebody on here who I've never seen before. I'm going to have to check him out on Facebook. This person's name is Chae, Chae. I'm thankful that you are watching. Chae, I'm going to check you out. Sharon Harden, my red hatter. I want to say top of the evening. Sharon is a faithful viewer, and they allow me to photograph. They allow me to photograph their red hat not ceremonies, their events every year. And last year we couldn't do it because COVID-19, because we do it in May, and they have red hatters from all over America be up here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I miss that COVID. Well, I tell you. Okay, so working with MCD, working in the county to expand their services. I'm gonna start using that word services.
I just like that. One day I was saying, I said, people don't want to be in a pro. It's like something's wrong with you. You have to be. This is a service that we're providing. Okay. Everything that we do is a service. It's a class, it's a service. I'm trying to change that in my own head to use that language.
And I'm gonna try and use that too. Out of all your services, is there one that really scratches you where you itch, like a favorite? I know it's like asking which kid of yours you like the best.
No, and the kids are all sitting in a row on the sofa. Yeah. Which one do you like the best?
Never put and if you don't have one, it's okay.
I like them each for different reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
It's okay.
But I will say this to you. I would like to develop. This is one of the things we're working on for 2021. Just like we have the certified nurse aid program,
Uh-huh.
13-week training. You can come, no skills, you leave, you got skills in the bank.
Right.
I want to create other, replicate that model with other areas of skills. So it could be IT, it could be other healthcare areas, because it really gives a person a chance to get on a career ladder and move up.
Mm. Okay, good. All right, now I'm gonna skip a couple of questions
Okay.
because I gotta look at my election results.
Oh, wait, tell me what's going on.
I can't tell you. I'm not looking. I'm giving
Oh,
you all my attention.
somebody out there is looking.
So, but now wait a minute. How can people help? O.I.C.
Oh my gosh. Let me just say this to you. A lot of times I think people think nonprofit means that you run on no money. Nonprofit equals no money. Okay, you know that from MCDC. That is so not true. And I will be the first. I am quick to ask, because without the support of the community and our partners, however that support, whatever form it comes in, we just can't we can't operate. Now, Chester County OIC has been in this, it has been in the Chester County community since 1979.
Mhm.
So this is our, what year? 42nd year? Yes, this is our 42nd year. We need funds to operate. And let me just say this to you: for every dollar you invest in a student, you get that back tenfold. Because when a student comes in, a successful student comes in and comes in the agency one way,
Mhm.
they leave going to support the economy,
Mhm.
paying taxes into the economy, being homeowners in the community, working in jobs in the local community, local region. That supports the entire community. So we need volunteers, we need funds, we need money, cold hard cash to operate. We work with government contracts that are restricted. They say you can spend this much money on this,
Right.
or this much money on this. But we all know let's be real. We all know what we need to operate.
Mm-hmm.
We do have people that are concerned about us, and we love that. We love when people just even call and say, you know what, I was thinking about you. How can we help? What do you need? What can we, and people contribute all kinds of things. They can we, do you, what do your folks need? It's not so much us, it's what the people that we serve.
Mhm.
So that's what, and we're renovating the building now. We're looking for people to help support those renovations, because here, look, we want to renovate our kitchen. That's on tier 3 of the renovations. We're
Ooh,
doing
good,
tier
good,
1 right
good.
now. We want to do a culinary program ultimately. We have so much in the plans, in the works. So we want to bring you all along the way, so we all get there at the same time.
If you can put some stuff in that building, I mean, I've been
Oh
upstairs
yeah.
and downstairs.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We got plans for that building. We got plans for that building. Yes.
All right, now
And you know what? For those that have been to the building, that raggedy, nasty fence that's fallen down, we're replacing that too. We want the place. We want it nice and clean and pristine, as Coatesville deserves.
Yeah,
That's what we want to do.
I'm so sure you're going to get it. All right, now let me pay a little attention to some of our viewers because they got stuff to say. Giovanna said in all capital letters, when we asked the question, what can people do? She said, partner with us and stop playing. Okay. In reference to the fact that
That
I wanted to get off early, so I wanted to see the election results, one of our favorite ladies, Susan Springsteen, CEO, president, and all those other titles of H2O, the rest, she said D's are winning, but it's close. Donna Rowland said IT training would be great. Cynthia said volunteers are always wanted. And now here goes Giovanna. I
and
love
interns too. We love interns. Yes.
interns. Is that paid or free?
We have both.
Oh, now,
Mhm.
hey, Coachville, did you hear that? Come on
Uh-huh.
now. Resource said they got positions for, and you know what? Sometimes working for free is okay.
It
Internship,
is. Well, you get the experience. Uh-huh.
tell you something. That free work sometimes shows an employer something about who you are on the inside and what you value the most.
That's right.
Man, look, pick up on it. Don't trip. Listen to Brother Fonz, man. I've been on both sides of the fence. They be liking that stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, resource.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, sir.
All right. Giovanna said the workforce program can benefit from any business owners that are willing to provide partnerships on the job training, internship experiences, and industry specific insight. If you have any, what's the word? What's the rest of
And
the
you
word?
know what? That's a quid pro quo because we are training people to work in those businesses so they get a big benefit at the end of the day. So we are definitely looking for those kinds of folks.
And look, quiet as is kept. MCDC, we are working on this home rehab program. And Lord, if the Lord blesses us with that money, we coming to you because we want some of your people to work along with some of the contractors to help rehab some of these homes.
Oh, by the
That's
way,
the requirement.
that's what we exactly what we want to do.
I
That's
want them
exactly. And in fact, with the van, the other thing that we promised the senator is that we would take one of our people and train them to be the van driver for our new van.
come on
So
now.
we're going to be working through that as well.
Y'all heard that from
That's in
Miss Joyce
2021.
Resource Chester herself. I want y'all to remember this because ain't
Yeah.
nobody playing with y'all. Because
No.
everybody be talking about they don't know. Well, we helping you to know. So now you just got to get up and go. When you know, you go.
When you know, you go.
Joanne Richardson, Joanne, it is so good to see you. Joanne, you came in late, but Joanne, you know you always can catch the replay. I'm going to repost it. Donna Rowland is trying to gaslight people saying fines can train social media and photography. You do know what gaslighting means, right, Donna?
Thanks, Donna.
Okay, we're getting ready to wind this thing up because people got stuff to do.
Already?
Yeah, look, we're going to get to some.
Hey, listen, Fonz, thank you for letting me be on the first show of the year, 2021. Woo-hoo!
How else was I going to start the New Year's after?
I know.
Now,
I
look,
love it.
we need to know some fun facts about O.I.C.
Some fun facts about O.I.C.
Anything embarrassing, something stupid, something that can make
We got
some
a lot of embarrassing and stupid, but we got to keep that in the
couple
4-1.
fun facts. So some of your
We,
viewers like Cynthia and Giovanna can say, no, she didn't. You know, stuff like that.
well, you know how OIC, now here's a tale from, this is from long ago,
Okay.
but how OIC got its name. Because
Mhm.
I told you what that long name was, right?
Right.
Okay, so OIC started in North Philadelphia, and a group of ministers came in to see Reverend Sullivan, our founder, and
Mhm.
they said, "Look, Rev, we got to do something here in North Philly because we don't have jobs. People need to be able to work in their neighborhood. We need to bring employment here to North Philly."
Mhm.
And they're pleading their tail. And Reverend Sullivan, he's a big, tall man. He's leaning on his desk, and he says, "Oh, I see."
Mhm.
And that's a true story. That is
Oh, I
a true.
see.
So then they had to find the words to fit the OIC. So that's a true story.
Sometimes it's the simplest things, man.
I know, right?
And look, look, I mean, Nike just said,
I
well,
did have some fun stories, but other stories, but they all slipped my mind.
that's a good one. That's okay. That's a good one. That'll hold us. Okay, let's talk about what is your vision for OIC in the next 4 or 5 years? What do you see?
We are like the total go-to for businesses to come when they're looking to employ people, for people to come when they're looking for those businesses. In Chester County, in our region, there are tons of jobs available, even now.
Mhm.
And you know what? There are tons of people that need jobs. I mean, good jobs. I'm talking about family sustaining wages
Mhm.
jobs. We want to be that hub. We want to be that match to get people to get one to the other. So we want to get the people that need the skills to the jobs that need the people and make a match. That's what I see. And I see all kinds of skills training happening in that building and with partners. I it's amazing. That's what I see.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, look, now we've come to that hour. This is the part of the show where I usually ask two things. One is, how has faith played a part in your journey? And then the last thing is not so much a question, but it's how I would like you to end this show, just sharing what's on your heart to the community at large. So let's start first. How has faith played a part in your journey?
So I don't know if people think it's simple to run an agency. As I mentioned before, we get much of our funds from government sources. And there's sometimes when when I'm just wondering, Lord have mercy, how am I going to close this gap? We have never missed payroll for the staff, and the staff has always been able to provide continuous, seamless service to the people that need the service. But there's sometimes when either we have a student that has a situation where I feel like, okay, this is so way out of my pay grade. I don't even know. And I just literally sit in my office and pray.
Mhm.
I literally, and honestly, Fonz, there has not been one time when my prayers for OIC have not been answered. Not one.
Oh man.
I remember one time when we had a budget shortfall and the accountant came into me and she said, "What are we going to do?" And I looked up at her and I said, "Pray." That Monday, we got funds in. And she came in and she said, "I thought you were a little crazy when you said pray."
Mhm.
I said, "No, no, 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 that's my go-to."
That's
So
sorry.
that's how faith, and I have to say this, let me just share this really quickly, Fonz. I went to one of my pastors and I said to him, I'll never forget this. I said to him, I only went to OIC to teach this one class and I'm still there. And I keep telling him I have to go. I can't stay there. But he said, "Well, do you like it there?" I said, "I love it, but I got to get back to a real job. I got to make sure I support my family and I got to." And he said, "Do you ever think OIC might be your calling?" And
Mhm.
it made me sit back and think. And I said, "I got to think about that." And there has not been one day that I have not just adored that job. Not one.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Is there any parting comments? Anything you would like to share with the
I
community?
I just want to, Franz, I want to thank you and MCDC. I want to thank our local political folks that have been so wonderful in supporting, even City Council, Coatesville, the James Logan. I don't want to start calling, if I start calling name by name, I've got to have a whole litany of, I got to thank my staff, however, and I have to thank my board of directors. They are amazing. We would not get done what we have to get done without the board of directors. They are amazing,
Mm.
and I mean, amazing, and the staff who go above and beyond every single day.
Who
And I
is the
want to
staff?
thank
What's
people,
the name of
the
them staff
community
members?
for trusting us enough to come in and put their lives in our hands. I just appreciate that so much and making us feel so welcome in Coatesville. We
Joyce.
are Coatesville now, so
Right. Those rising.
yes,
Hey, but Joyce, before you go,
yes.
can you name some of your staff members? I know you may have a lot, and maybe your memory might be slipping.
I
But
can, well, Giovanna Wiley is on,
all
and
right.
her staff is Dave Wilkerson and Fred Sharp and Mark.
Mhm.
I'm going to say his last name wrong, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay. Good. Good.
Mark is our intern. He does such a great job. Marianne Stravo, she is our education director.
Mhm.
She runs all of the GED. I can't name all the teachers. The
Okay.
teachers
That's
are
okay.
wonderful.
Just the people I see when I come in there. You know what I mean?
Isabella, who does she does works with the CNA program and does all our data. Pat Moston, she does helps with our data as well, works with Giovanna. And uh who else?
Joyce, let me ask you a question.
Yes,
What does Cynthia really do?
Cynthia.
Dawn Erickson, what does she
Well,
really?
you know what? Cynthia's, listen, I called Cynthia over the holidays and I said, "Cynthia, I need to get out of," she says, "Hi." I said, "How you doing?" She said, "Great, I'm on vacation." I said, "Oh, well, she does all our social media." I said, "I need to send something out to all of our constituents to wish them a happy holiday and a one." And I said, "But you just said you're on vacation." I got it. That's what she does. She did, no matter. I said, "Cindy, didn't you just say you're on vacation?" I got this.
She's a real good.
So yes. Uh-huh.
She puts
And
more
and
flyers,
and Cynthia,
on my page than I do.
we have two Cynthias. We have Cynthia Erickson, who does all of our social media. She does all of our constant contact mailings. And then Cynthia Eaton, the two Cynthia Squares. Cynthia Eaton does our website, and they're both wonderful.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to that hour. Matter of fact, we came
I
past.
thought you said I had 3 hours.
Like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for viewing in. Because she said when we was talking earlier, she said, Fonz, I can just talk for hours. And I'm like, no, you can't.
I'm really quite shy.
Because she articulated her vision, what is going on with O.I.C. She let us inside of who she is, where she's from, and all that stuff. This is the kind of interview I just like. I don't know what to say. I want to thank you. It was an honor to spend some time to zoom into your room and just
Thank
a
you.
little bit. Wasn't this nice? We all stupid and everything, but look, I'm going to thank my viewers. I got to thank my guest, Miss Joyce Resource Chester. What else? What else?
Put that sign up on my door.
What else? What else? What else? I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for this new year. I'm thankful that God has allowed me and all my viewers to see another day, because as bad as COVID-19 was last year, he gave you life, health, strength, and breath. And he gave you a lack of something to do tonight. So you looked at the show. So I'm glad that he did that too. I want all y'all to have a great night. Yes.
So Fonz, I just want to say in closing,
Right.
wear a mask,
Yeah.
wash your hands,
Yeah.
and socially distance, please.
And if
We'll
you
get
call me
through
on the
this
phone,
together,
have
right?
a mask on and wash your
Simple
hands.
ask, wear a mask.
Ask, wear a mask. I almost thought somebody was cussing when I first heard that. What? I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, Cynthia said, thank you, Joyce Chester. She said it was an awesome show. I never know how this show is until I listen to it again, which I will do. Thank you so much. God bless you, all you viewers. I got some great people that's coming on. Next week, I got Levi Bo Worthington, who is a first-time home owner in the year 2020. So everything didn't go wrong in 2020.
Yes.
And we're going to have him on the show, and we're going to talk about his experience. Also, next month, I'm going to have NAACP on, I think the 19th. I don't have my schedule in front of me. And I have a young lady who I'm so excited about interviewing, two ladies, Teresa Marie Matthews, who is the ultimate photographer in Coatesville, and a young lady named Valentino Holmes, who owns a chicken farm in Jersey. Man, I can't wait to get her on, because hey, her whole everything is all that. And I'm telling you, I'm excited. So I need y'all to continue to tune in. It's all about diversity. This show is about y'all. It ain't about me. I ain't got no sense. We need to hear about y'all and what y'all do. So look, with that being said, I want y'all to remember that Coatesville is truly rising. And somebody told you that they love you today. Brother Fonz and my baby Case love you. And remember, Black lives still matter.
Right.
Peace out. Bye-bye.